Good morning and welcome to the 2021 virtual Rise and Shine Senior Connection Center's annual award ceremony and fundraiser. I'm Matthew McClellan and I will be your MC for today's event. Some of you may have been at the last live Rise and Shine breakfast that we did back in 2019. Unfortunately, due to the COVID pandemic, we had to cancel in 2020, but I am so glad to be here today and welcome you to the 2021 virtual Rise and Shine Awards ceremony and fundraiser. Proceeds raised from this event will be used to support Senior Connection Center's crisis funds, which you can support now by clicking on the donation button right there on your screen. Rise and Shine takes place in May because May is Older Americans Month. This year's theme is Communities of Strength, a theme that certainly resonates throughout our community and serves to inspire this event. You're going to learn a little about Senior Connection Center's work to lessen the impact of COVID-19 on local seniors, as well as their caregivers. We are going to celebrate the achievements of some amazing local seniors who, in spite of COVID, or perhaps because of COVID, are doing incredible work to strengthen our community. We're also going to celebrate a business owner who rose to the occasion by making sure local homebound seniors did not go hungry when the COVID crisis hit. And since proceeds from this event will be used to support Senior Connection Center's Crisis Fund, we are also going to hear from some local seniors whose lives have been changed by the help they received from these funds. So for the next hour, sit back and watch, relax, and be prepared to be inspired. Now I want to introduce Senior Connection Center's President and CEO, Charlotte Mchenry.
Thank you, Matthew. Good morning. I first of all want to thank Matthew McClellan and Fox 13 News for being so gracious in allowing him to be our MC for our Rise and Shine Awards event. And I'm happy to welcome you to this event. We hope you enjoy our program, but we are looking forward to hopefully resuming our in-person event next year. This past year has been a disruptive and in many instances a tragic year. But like you, we learn ways to navigate the crisis to ensure our safety and the safety of those around us. At Senior Connection Center, we continue to meet our mission, which is to help older adults and persons with disabilities live with independence and dignity. As many of you know, the dollars we raise through our Rise and Shine event support our crisis fund, which became even more critical when the COVID pandemic hit, as many seniors face challenges with things like getting groceries and essential household goods. Another example is housing issues, such as the need for rent assistance, became even more prevalent, as is seen in this situation where we provided help.
Thank you for the help you gave me and my granddaughter. She's 8 years old and I have full custody of her. I have a son and daughter-in-law who have experienced the drug scene, and they are both unemployed and living on the streets. I am an accountant by trade and have worked for 58 years. I was laid off and finally found a training program with Polk County that would pay me $8.58 an hour, but the day before I was to start, they called me and said they had to shut down due to COVID-19. If Senior Connection Center had not come to my rescue, my granddaughter and I would be on the street. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for your help.
A portion of the proceeds from today's event will also be used to support our mini grants initiative. Every year, local organizations can apply for up to $3,000 to launch projects that address immediate and unmet needs of local seniors or persons with disabilities. I am proud to announce this year's mini grant recipients and the creative initiatives they will be implementing over the next year. The Osprey Observer for a monthly column devoted to important senior topics. Faith in Action for their food and transportation to ailing seniors initiative. Sterling Place for their access to the World Computer Lab. And Hillsborough County Department of Aging Services for their Silver Screen Outdoor Mobile Movie Theater. We will be sharing updates about the progress of these projects throughout the year on our weekly Facebook program, Your Weekly Connection. Social isolation and loneliness were growing concerns prior to the pandemic and became intensified during this last year as seniors were encouraged to stay at home and avoid contact with others. One way we responded was by initiating a new program called Uniper, which allowed homebound seniors to use their televisions as a communication tool where they could have video calls with family and friends, as well as enjoy live, interactive programming like exercise classes designed especially for them. Listen to how this service has benefited some of our clients.
My life is for really, really different now because I'm finally being able to do things that I haven't been able to do before. And I'm talking about before we had the pandemic, because I'm a very sociable person and I like people. That's just who I am. And then now, especially when the pandemic hit, it was just like, wow, you isolated even more. I said I'm sociable, but I still couldn't get around because transportation and my left side is still paralyzed. So Uniper has made my whole life a lot easier, I'm telling you, because it's like bringing everything right here in my own house. I can go do the YMCA like I used to and on Uniper, and you can see everybody and you can still communicate, and people who can identify and connect with you. Like, I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. And I can go to whatever meeting I need to and whatever class it is on my own schedule and still make my doctor's appointment. Okay. And then again, I don't have to worry and wait for the cab to come because to pick me up and take me, because I can we'll go in my living room and turn on the TV and click that little Zoom button. What I like best, it's so many things. And I'm gonna tell you, the first thing is that library. The classes that I miss, because I still make all my doctor's appointments, I can go in the library and I can pull it up and I can say, wow, okay, and pick up stuff that I missed. And then kind of look at it, take my time and look at it again and again and again if I have to. And then also, I'm gonna tell you one thing else, Bardell, they have like celebrations. Every month they have like people birthdays celebrating, and they're like my new friends. Of course I want to celebrate with them, so I'll make sure I plan everything around that and make sure I'm on Zoom on the Uniper, so I can go and do that. And I just like, oh, that is like phenomenal. I always like the Zumba because it's exercising and you can sit down in a chair and do it, or you can stand up. And I try to stand up and do it sometime. And that's one of the first classes. But more than anything, I like the trivia classes because I love picking my brain. And there's several of them they have all day. They have every day, not all day, but every day. For instance, they have the movie trivia, which and then they have questions that they kind of pick your brain a little bit. And then the song, Name That Tune, that is so cool and fun. The lady who talks, she's a doctor, and she talks about nutrition because I'm eating to live these days since I had my stroke. And she'll talk about and kind of intertwine stuff in there and give you time to ask questions. And I'm like, wow. So I love that class. And again, like I said, the Zumba and the Tai Chi. And I just learned about Tai Chi also. I've heard about it, but I was curious to see exactly what it is. So I make sure I do that Tai Chi class and the Zumba because, you know, your body is made to move, even though I don't move like I used to. But look, I'm still going to do what I can. And there's nobody judging me on Uniper. Because, like, you know, one thing when I used to go to the Y, people see you walk in with a cane or a walker, right then they already paint a picture of who you are, what you cannot do, or they judge you. So I know you asked me about the classes, but that's the thing with Uniper, you're not judged. You can stay in your own house and you can try to do what you can at your own pace. And that's why I like Uniper, I'm telling you. Everybody should have that.
In addition, throughout the pandemic, we have continued to offer our traditional services, such as our SHINE program, which helps older adults navigate the complexities of Medicare. We always look forward to hearing from some of those that are served through this valuable program, such as the woman you're about to hear from in this clip.
My name is Kathy. I called with a concern, and David has been helping me, and I just wanted to let you know that what he did for me is changing my life, literally. I was so depressed and so upset with the problems that I was having. And David just cut through all of the red tape and the stuff, and he was able to get it all resolved for me. And now my life is starting to feel normal again. I'm so thankful for David. Thank you so much. He did such a great job. Thank you. Bye-bye.
At this point, I want to thank our champion sponsor, Humana, who has supported the Rise and Shine event for the last several years. We are proud to receive their continued support of the work that we do. I would like to introduce Dr. Albert Zeal, Humana's Regional Vice President of Health Services and Senior Products, who is now going to share a few comments.
Thank you, Charlotte. On behalf of Humana, a champion sponsor of the Rise and Shine Award ceremony, I want to say that we are proud to be affiliated with organizations such as the Senior Connection Center. The work they do fits in beautifully with our bold goal to improve the health of the communities we serve. In fact, our bold goal and the overall mission of Humana is to create integrated solutions internally and align those solutions with our community partners. In doing so, we focus on the customer's journey and we remain centered on addressing both our community and our customer needs. This focus allows Humana to be fully dedicated to the most important needs of our communities and our members by helping make it easier for them to achieve their best health. We recognize that we are only able to do this by developing and cultivating trusted long-term partnerships with organizations such as the Senior Connection Center. As we all know, this past year has been one that we never would have imagined. Over this past year, we have heard the terms unprecedented, once in a lifetime, and uncharted waters more than we ever thought we would, and certainly more than we ever wanted to. To that end, the stress of both the known as well as the risks of the unknown have led to health impacts on our communities and especially on our seniors. We have learned that despite how this past year's pandemic has impacted our communities, and especially our seniors, our partnership with organizations like Senior Connection Center has been invaluable. We'd like to recognize the specific work that Charlotte has helped to lead with the Senior Impact Committee, and IMPACT stands for individual members producing active change together, to bring together a variety of stakeholders to raise awareness and create solutions to the biggest problems seniors have faced the past year. As the shutdowns and physical distancing guidelines were put in place, our older populations were dramatically impacted. However, Charlotte and her team worked diligently to identify and roll out some solutions to help the seniors stay connected in a variety of ways. And it is this power of connection that has kept us all together and that will help us going forward. Thank you for all that you do to help us achieve our bold goal, and we look forward to continuing with you on the path to health for our seniors and our communities.
Our first award of the day, the Senior Friendly Business of the Year Award, is traditionally presented to a local business that goes above and beyond the call of duty to provide excellent service to seniors in their community. This award took on a whole new meaning in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic as senior centers and meal sites all across Florida closed their doors to thousands of seniors who had relied on them not only for their meals, but also for the friendship, the companionship of their neighbors. And here to introduce this year's Senior Friendly Business of the Year Award is Mariana Bugayo Muros, Vice President and Chief Human Resources Officer at Moffitt Cancer Center. Mariana.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. I am delighted to be here. I've had the opportunity of being here now for the last several years, and it's something that is very near and dear to my heart. So let me tell you a little bit about this award. Over a year ago, when COVID first hit, older adults were advised to stay home and stay safe. Senior Connection Center and senior nutrition providers throughout their 5-county service area knew they had to act quickly to ensure that those seniors who had been going to senior centers for their meals or who could no longer safely shop for groceries did not go hungry. Senior Connection Center and Hillsborough County's Department of Aging Services, working in partnership with Florida's Department of Elder Affairs Restaurant Initiative, knew who to call to help launch an innovative and efficient food delivery program for seniors living in Hillsborough County. Which leads us to the story behind this year's Senior Friendly Business of the Year Award winner. When Michael Blasco of Tampa Bay Food Trucks was approached to see if he was up for a challenge, he responded with an enthusiastic, "Yes, I'm in, and how else can I help?" Michael helped coordinate efforts with local food truck companies to prepare and deliver hot, delicious, and nutritious meals to the homes of seniors throughout Hillsborough County. As it turns out, this project not only appealed to Michael's affection and fondness for seniors, but he also knew it would help the local food truck industry, which was hit hard when COVID caused their lunch crowd clientele to stop going to their offices and events were canceled. As a result of these efforts, Michael Blasco and the team of food trucks can be credited with delivering 26,938 meals to local seniors over the past year. And this is why we are presenting Michael Blasco, Chief Eating Officer of Tampa Bay Food Trucks, with the Senior Friendly Business of the Year Award. Michael? Thank you.
Thank you.
Interestingly enough, when I got that phone call, I was unsure of whether we'd be able to complete service. And it only took about the first day of service to realize just how important this was going to be. When a senior would open their door and receive that hot meal, you would have thought it was Christmas every single time. It was amazing. It was such a delight to be a part of. I'm so happy that we were able to pull together the resources we needed to be able to do this. Believe it or not, I never actually totaled all the meals. I never knew it was 26,000. And that's a remarkable number. And amazingly enough, our food truck partners in the Department of Aging and Senior Connections were so great at what they do. We didn't miss one day of service other than a hurricane. And then we took that resource and we put it into delivering more meals a few weeks later to make sure that we got the food out to the seniors. It was so remarkable getting to deal with the seniors of our community and help them. We had trucks that normally wouldn't make food from scratch begin making everything from scratch, ensuring that the best food we could get out to seniors would be there. And that is an extremely time-consuming task when you're feeding somewhere between 100 and 150 meals at a time. And so it's been an absolute pleasure being able to help the seniors of Hillsborough County. I know that everyone from our drivers who were out of work to the food trucks who needed the business, we're very, very grateful, and it's an absolute honor to receive this award. Thank you.
I would like to welcome back to the podium Dr. Albert Zeal, Humana's Regional Vice President for Health Services and Senior Products for Central and North Florida. Dr. Zeal will introduce Senior Connection Center's Philanthropist of the Year Award. Dr. Zeal.
Thank you, Matthew. Senior Connection Center Philanthropist of the Year Award is given to an individual whose personal generosity and philanthropic leadership has led to improving the lives of people in need and bettering society in a unique or significant way. This year's winner certainly fits that bill. Mr. Bill Jarrett has demonstrated a lifetime of dedication and support for his Highlands County community, and he has made it his mission to not only provide help to his neighbors, but also assist them in accessing the knowledge and healthcare services they might not otherwise know how to obtain. Bill is a dreamer and a doer. He develops ideas and helps execute them. He knows when to take charge and run with a project, but he also allows others to flourish and will follow their lead when he knows it is fitting to do so. Bill Jarrett has dedicated more than 33 years of service and advocacy to 3 hospitals in the Heartland, including Advent Health Lake Placid, Sebring, and Wauchula, and he is a key stakeholder in all Advent Health Heartland Regional Foundation initiatives. Some of the hospital improvements and initiatives that happen under Bill's guidance and influence include a new build of a hospital facility in Wauchula, renovations and upgrades in technology for an obstetrics unit, redesign and construction of a health and vascular center of excellence, and the purchase of an automated whole breast ultrasound machine. Bill was instrumental in transitioning the hospital into a teaching facility, and that now has both 3rd and 4th year medical students and is implementing a residency program. As a former athlete, Bill understands the concept of proper rest, nutrition, and activity, and has led the foundation to construct a 25,000 square foot health and wellness facility. This facility will not only serve as a place to work out, but will feature a lifestyle family medicine physician, health and wellness classes, food preparation classes, massage therapy, and much, much more. It's not surprising that Bill was recently named Trustee of the Year for the entire Advent Health organization, which includes more than 50 hospitals in 10 states. And by the way, Bill also hosts his own yearly 5K event and supports a walk-run series initiative that he helps plan and promote. In addition, he also runs in the event. Bill Jarrett's nomination states, and I quote, "Bill expects nothing in return for his acts of service and kindness. He does not want recognition or praise, but rather to see the growth and impact that his actions have made," unquote. Bill could not be with us here today, but he recorded these comments as the winner of Senior Connection Center Philanthropist of the Year Award.
Thank you very much for this honor, this opportunity from the Senior Connection Center. It's been a lifelong journey for myself and my family in order to be a part of various communities. I can only thank right now Mom and Dad and all the mentors in my life who have taught me that it's not mine, it's ours. The ability to share and to be able to give back and to be a part of communities throughout my life has been a gift to myself, not to others. I've enjoyed every moment of it. I hope that I'm an example in some respect to others, that I can mentor others. It's been such a wonderful life, wonderful journey, and I can't thank you enough for taking the time to say thank you.
And congratulations to Bill Jarrett, our 2021 Philanthropist of the Year. Both your hard work and your humility are truly inspirational. You'll remember earlier that the proceeds from this event go to support Senior Connection Center's crisis funds. Now, as the name implies, these funds are used to help seniors and their caregivers who are facing a one-time, unexpected crisis, one that could be alleviated with moderate amounts of funds, but could become catastrophic if not addressed. Please listen to these words captured on a Zoom call with a caregiver named Stacy. Stacy's father is 90 years old. He began showing signs of dementia. Her mother is blind and has a heart condition. Both had experienced falls in their home. And shortly before Christmas, Stacy decided that she and her 11-year-old daughter would move in with her parents to help take care of them. And then she discovered her dad had not paid the water bill in more than a year.
My name is Stacy Konak, and I have my parents. They're disabled. They're up there in age and stuff. They need my help, so I'm a kind of the caregiver to them. I took over helping my dad with the mortgage and the electric bill. And he told me, when I asked him about the water bill, I said, is it being taken care of? And he said yes. And I figured that there was something going on there, like he was being really forgetful. So he said that the water bill was being paid and everything was okay. And I just took his word for it, because I'm trying to let him be independent and think for himself. And so I didn't know anything about it. So basically, a guy came over and shut the water off in the morning time. And I said, okay. So I called the water company up, and she told me that we were $2,000 in the rears. It has not been paid. And, I asked her, I said, why didn't you shut it off before? And she said, because of COVID, they weren't shutting anything off. And I said, but still, it's 2 weeks prior to Christmas. What am I supposed to do? I can't come up with that kind of money. And to turn it back on, they wanted $14.95 just to turn it on. And I said, they're on a fixed income. They only get so much money a month, and then that's it. That pays for all their bills, and then the small percentage of what they have left over. Senior Connection, I spoke with them. She worked with me. She called me up, called me back. She gave me tons of phone numbers, of resources. And she called me up the next day and said that they're going to help out with the water bill. I cried and cried and cried, and I just don't know how to repay you guys. If it wasn't for the Senior Connection Center, you know, we would not have water, basically. And if it wasn't for the people that donate, we would not have water. I mean, you guys and the supporters are true blessing from my heart.
And Stacey, thank you for sharing that story with us and reminding us how Senior Connection Center's crisis funds truly change the lives of seniors and their caregivers. And remember, any donations received today will go straight to support Senior Connection Center's crisis funds. And all you got to do is click that donate button. And now we are ready to present our Salt and Pepper Outstanding Senior Awards. The Salt and Pepper Awards were named as a tribute to the late Honorable Claude Pepper, who represented Floridians in both the U.S. House of Representatives as well as the Senate, and who served as a champion for all older Americans when he helped craft the legislation to create Medicare. Since Rise and Shine was canceled in 2020, we were not able to present the Salt and Pepper Awards that year, even though we had a lot of worthy nominations. So we are going to present 2 awards in each category. Now I would like to introduce Michelle Sear, AARP's Associate Director for Community Outreach in Tampa Bay, to introduce the winners in the Health and Wellness category. Now, Michelle could not be here at today's ceremony, so she provided us with video introductions of today's winners. Michelle?
Hi, I'm Michelle Sear with AARP, and I'm honored to be presenting this year's Salt and Pepper Award winners for Health and Wellness. Recipients of this award are chosen for being role models, for living a healthy life, or for being involved in advancing the health and wellness of the community through their personal or professional achievements. Our first Health and Wellness winner is Janet Mccarthy. Janet is a registered nurse, and for much of her career, she has specialized in home health. Janet was nominated for this award by her current employer, We Elderly Care, where she has worked since 2006. She started there as a home health nurse and now works part-time doing quality assurance visits as well as patient assessments to ensure the proper placement of long-term care patients. Janet is also active with her church and has participated as a nurse on multiple mission trips to such places as Africa and Haiti. By the way, this busy woman happens to be 87 years young, and she continues to broaden her vast knowledge of health and wellness. Janet became a Reiki master, a Qigong practitioner, which is similar to Tai Chi, and continues to study natural healing. And for her lifelong commitment to improving the health and wellness of others, and for being such a wonderful role model for living a healthy life, we are presenting this year's Salt and Pepper Award for Health and Wellness to Janet McCarthy. Congratulations, Janet.
Thank you for this award. I am both humbled and just amazed at receiving an award for something I have enjoyed doing all my life. I found my true calling in nursing. I was the first, I say that I came from a family of American peasants. I was the first person in my family to graduate high school. My mother was not going to allow me to go to college because she didn't think that women should be educated. But being a typical teenager, I found ways to get around that, and I did go into nursing. I have been in nursing 70 years. I entered in 1951 nursing school at Lenox Hill Hospital in New York City, and I think it was the best decision I ever made in my life. There I learned everything I could about dealing with people, and I went on to have a very fulfilling career. I've worked in all areas of nursing, medical, surgical. I did 6 years in obstetrics, labor and delivery, even delivered a couple of babies. And I also worked orthopedics. When I moved to South Florida in 1974, I worked at a hospital there, and I was asked if I would like to become a nurse, not only in the medical surgical field, but also intensive care. I never turned down a chance to learn. And I said yes. And so I did study, took the courses, and became certified as an intensive care nurse in Florida. And then the company I was working with asked me, Janet, would you like to start Medicare for us? And I said, what is Medicare? And she said, this was in the early 70s. And she said, Medicare, oh, that's where the nurse goes into homes to take care of people. So I said, well, sure, I'll try that. I had already had a good background in nursing and care of patients, and but this is where I found my true calling in home health, going into homes, taking care of people, because I often wondered when they left intensive care and they went back to the home, what happened? How did the families take care of them? Well, I soon learned. I actually became part of the families over the years, and I'm so happy. And then one day when I was in church, a woman came up to me and said, Janet, she says, I'm getting a group of nurses and doctors and paramedics together. She said, I'm with New Frontiers Health Force. I'm Dr. Tanya Hawthorne. And she says, we're going to Africa. Would you like to go with us? And I said, I sure would. And that's what I did. When I came back from one trip to Africa, Dr. Tanya asked me, would I like to go to Haiti with her? She says, after this disaster, she says, we're going there to see what we can do to help. And again, I said, well, sure, I'd love to go. And we all went off to Haiti with the group, and we served there. When I came home again, I just started back at my nursing career as a home health nurse. I've seen it grow. I've seen it become so much more. And so I am just thrilled to be what I am. From 1951 to 2021, being a nurse has been the most thrilling and most rewarding career that anyone could possibly have. I want to thank you all for having me here. So.
Our second Health and Wellness Award winner is also someone who works every day to enhance the health and wellness of his community. Mike Bardell became chief of the Sun City Emergency Squad in 2017 and is the longest serving chief in the squad's history. In his work, he has brought local organizations, hospitals, and community leaders together for the betterment of Sun City residents. Pre-COVID, he organized community education programs such as heart health and fall prevention, which were attended by more than 2,500 residents. He also organized a community disaster planning conference so residents would be better prepared for hurricanes. When COVID hit, Mike was involved in coordinating and assisting with COVID-19 testing and vaccine distribution efforts in Sun City. And he worked with state and county health departments and Hillsborough County Fire Rescue to create protocols to keep his crew and volunteers safe. As a result of these efforts, none of the squad volunteers contracted the virus through their service to the community, and they never had to close their doors. And by the way, Mike Bardell's job happens to be an unpaid volunteer position. For all of these reasons, we are presenting Mr. Mike Bardell with the Salt and Pepper Health and Wellness Award. Congratulations, Mike.
I hope I can do this justice because it's not for me. This is for all of the volunteers that do in the Sun City Center Emergency Squad. There are over 400 volunteers, and the average age is 72 years old. We perform BLS care. We provide hospital service. If they need, we bring an ambulance out to them. We evaluate them and their needs, and then we will take them to the hospital. This is all done at no cost. The community has supported the emergency squad for 57 years. And I couldn't be prouder of those people. And the reason I will cite to you, you really never know until a person is tested, what they will do. pre-COVID, we really didn't know a lot of things. In the early days of it, we didn't know anything about COVID, except for what we heard that was for seniors. There wasn't very good outcomes, and it was pretty devastating. Made a lot of people very nervous. The volunteers at the squad said that they wanted to continue going and continue operating because people were still going to have heart attacks, people were still going to have strokes, and people were still going to fall. And they needed to have a service out there. We never closed our doors. We operate 24/7, 365 days a year, and have always been able to do that. This is about so much. You give me, I have been given the accolades for what I have done, but these are truly my heroes. These are the people that sacrificed at their own personal safety, and went out and did for others. And our motto is neighbors helping neighbors. And I think they have done that, and I appreciate it. But I thank you very much for this consideration and work.
Thank you to Michelle, and congratulations to Janet McCarthy and Mike Bardell for your hard work in promoting and protecting the health and wellness of so many seniors in our community. And here to present the next Salt and Pepper Awards for Community Service and Volunteerism is Tom Kristen, Managing Advisor for BKS Partners. Tom?
Thank you. The Community Service and Volunteerism Awards recognize individuals whose personal dedication and history of donating their time, expertise, service, and/or talent has had a positive impact on improving the local community in a unique or significant way. Our first winner of the Salt and Pepper Award for Community Service and Volunteerism goes to a woman who serves as an advocate for some of our most vulnerable citizens. Dr. Irene Dion is a volunteer long-term care ombudsman, where she advocates for residents living in nursing homes, assisted living facilities, and adult care homes. Her role as an advocate includes investigating and resolving residents' complaints and visiting residents to ensure they're receiving the care and need they deserve. Dr. Dion's accomplishments on behalf of her clients range from getting refunds and retrieving missing property to helping with care planning to dealing with staff or cleanliness issues in facilities. She has a knack for getting to the source of the problem and getting things straightened out. On a lighter note, Dr. Dion can be found presenting resident rights bingo games as a fun way to educate residents at facilities. Last year alone, Dr. Dion volunteered 630 hours of helping others in her role as ombudsman. And in addition to being appreciated by the residents she assists, Dr. Dion is also admired by fellow ombudsmen who recently voted her as their state council representative. For all of her efforts in serving some of the most vulnerable people of our community, we're happy to present Dr. Irene Dion with the Salt and Pepper Award for Community Service and Volunteerism. Dr. Dion could not be here with us today. And now I want to introduce our next award winner. Miss Lilly Nichols has volunteered thousands of hours over the past decade serving as a foster grandparent with Seniors in Service of Tampa Bay, where she has enriched the lives of countless children with special needs in her community. Not only does she mentor, tutor, and provide emotional support for her students, but she also gives them the extra love and comfort they need to gain confidence in themselves. It's this extra love that inspires these children to call her grandma. When COVID-19 caused the closure of Head Start site where Lilly Nichols volunteered, she could have decided it's time to retire. But instead, she became a role model for the lessons she had been teaching her children, especially the one about perseverance. She geared up to serve in this new virtual teaching environment by learning how to use a tablet computer, how to go on the internet, download and use apps, send and receive emails, and conduct video conferencing. Also, she can continue to serve the children in this new virtual environment. After a year of not being able to see her students in person, Grandma really wanted to do something special for the children. So just before spring holiday break, Grandma made special arrangements to safely drop off baskets of goodies and materials to the children and their teachers. Marissa Davis from Seniors in Service tells us, "It was indescribable hearing the joy and excitement from Grandma when she called to tell us How wonderful it was to see all the kids' smiling faces. All of us can learn a lot from Miss Lilly, especially when it comes to the value of perseverance and the power of love. This is why we are presenting her with the Salt and Pepper Award for Community Service and Volunteerism. Lilly.
Good morning. I would like to say that I enjoy working with the children. I've been at Cleveland Elementary School for almost 10 years now. Not only do I work with the children, I like to give them treats for them stuttering and learning and behaving. You have to teach them to behave in order to be able to move on. I also enjoy when we do story time. I like to read, and they like to listen to the stories. Now, during this virtual year, they get a little irritated, and they'll go their own way and look up in the sky or play with the chords. And I would tell them, hello, hello. All right, let's do a song. And then I'll teach them the song. And one song that they love, and before I can even get to it, they'll holler, head, shoulder, knees and toes, knees and toes. And they like that song. And this is what you have to do in order to keep their attention span. Not only do I work with children, but Marissa doesn't know, I do community work with the seniors. I serve lunches on Saturdays. My son and granddaughter and we go out, we cook, and we go serve the homeless. And it's just so many things, but I enjoy doing what I do, and I truly enjoy working with my children. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom, and congratulations to this year's Community Service and Volunteerism winners, Irene Dion and Lilly Nichols. And next, here to present the Salt and Pepper Awards for Arts and Entertainment is Jamie Vino from Suncoast Credit Union. Jamie?
The Salt and Pepper Arts and Entertainment Award recognizes seniors who are actively involved in the creation or advancement of arts in our community. This includes visual arts, music, literature, theater, and various performing arts. I think you'll agree today's winners embody all of these skills. The first Arts and Entertainment Salt and Pepper Award goes to Mr. Floyd Love. Floyd's nomination began with this quote. Louis Armstrong said it best, musicians don't retire, they stop when there's no more music in them. At 83, Floyd shows nothing is going to slow him down. Floyd began volunteering 29 years ago, in 1992, when he accompanied his brother-in-law to a nursing home where he played the piano. While Floyd was singing along, he noticed a woman in the audience was mouthing the words. After the song was over, she came up to the piano and began to play. He later learned that this woman had Alzheimer's disease, and prior to Floyd's performance, had not reacted to any outside stimuli for as long as she had lived there. This touching experience convinced Floyd that sharing his love of music could be the key to open the hearts and minds of the seniors in his community. For the last 10 years, Floyd's had found multiple ways for other seniors to learn about and share their love of music. Members of Floyd's Broadway chorus perform sing-alongs for more than 75 independent living and assisted living communities throughout Polk County, as well as at local churches and other venues that serve seniors. Floyd has also formed the Insiders Club, where he plans and visits behind-the-scenes tours of Broadway shows. Finally, he teaches a class entitled The 100 Years of Broadway, a journey through composers and performers. Floyd's service to older adults began when he saw the power of music and the positive effect it had on someone with Alzheimer's. The resulting labors of his love are why Floyd is receiving this year's Salt and Pepper Award for Arts and Entertainment. Congratulations, Floyd. Great job. Great job.
Well, thank you very much. It's a real honor to have received this award. I feel that there should be at least 100 people standing up behind me and receiving this award, because we've had that many members of our Broadway chorus throughout the last 12 years. Particularly the lady I'd like to honor is Sharon Lakin, who is our musical director and has been, and is also my piano teacher and my accompanist. I don't call her an accompanist, I call her a collaborator, and that's along with Adam Hargrove, who conducts our Broadway chorus and also plays the piano. They're collaborators as well as my members of my group, because we put the show together as a group. Everybody brings a suggestion, sing a song that they'd like to sing, and we hope that the audiences enjoy it. Jamie mentioned my brother-in-law, Don Spangler, and my sister Donna Spangler. That's true, Donna and Donna Spangler, who are the cause of me being in Polk County and in Lakeland. Particularly, they were building a home in Sandpiper, which is in the North Lakeland, and so they made the ruse, I guess, to get me down here. I helped design their kitchens and baths, as I had done in New York City, in addition to my theater career and restaurant career. So I came down here, and I was here a couple of weeks with them and helped them get moved in, and went back to New York, and they said, well, if you ever want to move down here, you can stay with us. And I said, no, I've been in New York 25 years. I'm okay. Well, we had one of the biggest snowstorms when I got back in December. And I said, called my sister, I said, is that offer still good? She said, of course. So in 2 weeks, I packed up everything and liquidated what assets I had and came down here, and Don Spangler, who unfortunately passed away last November at age of 94. He was a big band player from the age of 16 in Columbus, Ohio. The big bands would come through, but they would not have a pianist because they didn't have keyboards then. So they would hire a local musician, and he got in the Musicians Union at 16. And so he played with some of the big bands, some of the biggest bands that came through Columbus, Ohio. And so as Jamie said, he introduced me to the community of rehab centers, and we would go out and entertain a little bit. But I hadn't sung in 20 years. I was a producer and director in New York and tried to make other people sound good. And I realized that I really enjoyed and missed singing from the age of 8 in my church. My family would, my 5 older brothers and sisters would be lined up on the stairways when I was like 6 or 7, and I would be entertain them. My mother would not let them leave. So I would do these terrible imitations of James Cagney and Jimmy Stewart and those, and they were forced to laugh, but it turned out that they were very proud of what I've done. So I want to thank them and dedicate this award to my longtime brother-in-law. I dropped the name brother-in-law. He's my brother, and he's known me since I was 8 years old. So thank you so much. And Don, thank you, and the rest of my family and the group that helped bring me here. Thank you so much.
Our next Arts and Entertainment Salt and Pepper Award is Diane Simon. Diane has had a paintbrush in her hand since early youth. She attended Edinburgh University and Penn State for her formal training, and she has continued her formal education at the Institutes of Art in North Carolina. She began working mostly in oils and acrylics, but when she moved to Florida in 2004, painting watercolors became her new love. Diane creates unique and insightful watercolor works. Her accomplished works have been featured at the Florida Watercolor Society's annual exhibits on multiple occasions. Diane also has a passion for helping others. For the last 14 years, she has taught watercolor classes at Kings Point in Sun City Center. She teaches 2 classes a week, and her skills, patience, and encouragement have inspired many to pursue their artistic talents. Her highly sought-after classes always have a wait list. Additionally, Diane donates her art to support multiple worthwhile fundraisers. Many homes from donors are now graced with Diane's artwork. One of her most memorable donations is a large, beautiful masterpiece composed of multiple colorful stars, each one painted under Diane's guidance by a local Alzheimer's patient. The piece was sold at auction for $500 and benefited the Alzheimer's Association and is currently displayed at the Alzheimer's Auxiliary Building in Sun City Center. Lastly, Diane has found time to volunteer as an EMT on the Sun City Emergency Squad, and she also serves in her church as a chairman of the trustees. Diane proves she is not just a master of watercolors, she's a master of living, and a winner of the 2021 Arts and Entertainment Salt and Pepper Award. Congratulations, Diane.
Thank you. I'm very humbled to be here and honored to be selected to win this award. Many things have happened in my life. When I moved to Florida, my husband was critically ill and I had to stay home. I was an art major in high school, and when I applied to college, they said, "We'll accept you because you're a member of the National Honor Society, but you have absolutely no talent, so find a different medium." I'd like to go back and find that professor and go, But when I moved to Sun City Center, I stayed home, and because I was trained in oil and acrylic particularly, I had to change to watercolors. He was on oxygen, and so I needed to have fresher air around me rather than turpentine and linseed oil. Many of my works were done just from workbooks, and I was able to actually conquer the medium of watercolor. He passed, and as he passed, I said I didn't ever want this to happen to anyone else again because I really didn't understand what happened to him. So I went over to the squad and I said, "How long will it take me to be a chief?" God bless them, they had better wisdom than I did. They never made me a chief, but they did accept me to work on the ambulance and work as an EMT for a long time. My classes currently, obviously, with the pandemic have changed radically. And I'm taking this opportunity of the pandemic to learn a lot of new skills. I had no idea how to do Zoom or online videos or anything else, or how to teach my students. I've done demos and classes in Tree Lakes, Sarasota, Bradenton, Citrus County Watercolor Society. I'm honored to do one this year at the Florida Watercolor Society down in Coral Springs. So I had to learn how to do this. I learned that if I take my iPhone and turn it upside down, I can actually video what I'm doing. So I'm pleased today to find out a new system, and hopefully maybe I'll incorporate this into my classes. But now, instead of just 50 students a week, I'm teaching about 170, all free, all over the age of 70. And I'm just so blessed when I get response back from them. This is what I painted today. Give me a critique. And my first words are always amazing, beautiful work. We learn through encouragement and praise and the glory. I'm just so blessed. I'm just so blessed and honored to be here today. And I thank you very much for the honor.
Thank you so much, Jamie, as well as thanks to Diane Simon and Floyd Love for sharing your talents to enrich the lives of others. Both of you are truly inspirational. We have one more story to share with you today to give you an idea of how life-changing Senior Connection Center's crisis funds can be. Dorothy found herself in a dangerous situation. She was renting a room in a private home, but soon discovered other residents in the home were using illegal drugs. She wanted to find someplace else to live, but she did not own any furniture and had limited savings, so she didn't have a lot of options here. So she applied to the housing authority for an apartment in a senior living complex and moved in with her daughter while she waited for a unit to become available. Luckily, a few weeks later, a unit did come open, but Dorothy didn't have enough money for the entire security deposit, and she had just 24 hours to round it up. Her daughter called Senior Connection Center, who provided crisis funds for her security deposit, as well as some furniture and household items so Dorothy could move into her new home. And I want you to take a look at this footage, the cell phone footage of Dorothy seeing her new apartment for the first time.
Oh my God, she got the corner unit. She got window. It's only one unit, 2 units like that. Look, she got window. Yeah. Wow. Look at that. That's 2 apartments per floor have 2 windows inside.
You got me on video. Beautiful, Mom. I'm so happy for you. This is beautiful. Oh my God. And he says you have the corner unit, so you have windows. Oh, look at that. He said there's only 2 people and you got chosen with the windows. God, thank you, Senior Connection.
How about that for how amazing and life-changing these Senior Connection Center crisis funds can be? I hope you agree that today's ceremony is truly and has been truly inspirational. We saw how strong our community really is and how amazing seniors and organizations like Senior Connection Center are working together to make our community even better. And now it is my pleasure to welcome Senior Connection Center's board chair, Becky Mcintyre, who has some important words to share with all of you. Becky?
Hello, my name is Becky Mcintyre, and I'm very honored to serve as the board chair for Senior Connection Center's Board of Directors. And thank you, Matthew, for taking time out of your busy schedule to host this program today. We do greatly appreciate your support. Before Gil Machine plays one more song for you to enjoy, I wanted to take a moment to thank you personally for watching this year's Rise and Shine Awards ceremony. I hope you've been as inspired as I have been. The format for this year's event was different from previous years, but the importance of this event remains the same. And the crisis funds we raised today are needed now more than ever. You've seen how these crisis funds impact the lives of vulnerable seniors by preventing an unexpected situation from turning into a life-altering disaster. Please take a moment and support this very worthy cause by clicking on that little donation button on the bottom of your screen. Thank you again for joining us, and thank you for your support for the Senior Connection Center. And now, here's that song by my fellow board member, Gil Machine.